All right, so the Miz is the new WWE champion. Congratulations to the Miz. I'm not a big fan of the whole Miz Michael Cole. The era of awesomeness. I find Raw very, very. It's just not my cup of tea. But I would say this: congratulations to the Miz. I think it's well deserved. Look at where he was in 2004, 2005. Tough enough. Battling it out with Daniel Puder. Kind of got the short end of the stick. Was kind of a laughing stock within the WWE because he was part of the real world. A lot of people did not take him seriously as a wrestler, but he paid his dues. He developed his catchphrase. He got himself into better shape. He looks more like a wrestler now. Look where Pewter is now. I'm just saying, in the world of professional wrestling, Pewter's not very well respected now. And then look where the Miz is, the new WWE champion. I think it says a lot. So congratulations to him. I think it's a great decision. Actually, I think Randy Orton and John Cena in the main event is very, very stale. I think. I feel like they were just kind of toying with who would be the champion. Obviously Orton was the transitional champion. Sheamus was the transitional champion. I just don't think they knew what to do with the belt or who to put it on. But, I don't know. I would say that The Miz is going to have a long title reign, actually. I mean, I'm not saying it's going to be that long, but I would say that, you need to go with The Miz and Daniel Bryan at WrestleMania. I feel like, why not just do it? The Miz is the champion now. I mean, one of the things I've hated about the WWE over the last couple of years is, giving the belts away right before WrestleMania at the Elimination Chamber pay-per-view. I feel like going into WrestleMania, you need to have a nice little, strong, dominant title reign, at least to a degree. You can't just have the belts changed at the pay-per-view right before WrestleMania every single year. I think that's bad booking on my decision. So, obviously, Miz is not going to be a super strong champion heading into WrestleMania, but at least with Daniel Bryan, you have some history there, so I feel like a Miz-Daniel Bryan match at WrestleMania would be great. I think a lot of people probably say, you're asking for too much, it's too soon for Daniel Bryan. But the bottom line is he's already 30 years old. I feel like if you could give a guy like the Miz the belt, a guy that's not very, very well respected amongst internet fans, amongst smart marks, if you could give him the belt only after 5 or 6 years of being in the business, then you could give the belt to Daniel Bryan with just 1 year being in the business. Everyone knows Daniel Bryan's background. Everyone knows he's paid his dues. Everyone knows he's wrestled all around the world, in Japan, in England, in Germany, and all these places. And, he's pretty much carried a promotion like Ring of Honor and put it on the map. So you could, I don't know, I think you could definitely do it now. Like I said, with Miz and Daniel Bryan, there's so much history there already. You could incorporate Michael Cole into the feud. That could be an awesome feud right there. So I would not rule it out. All right, so really quickly, I just want to touch on Randy Orton. A lot of people were saying that, Orton was kind of stale as the champion. He always sucks while he's the champion. He's never really had a great title reign. And I completely agree. It's just something about Orton that, I don't know, you would think, he's got the look, he's got the facial expressions, he's a very, very good wrestler when he wants to be. I think his wrestling ability, he really is very, very methodical in the ring. I just think he could do so much more than what he does. And I really think he's an asshole in real life, and I think that kind of hurts, him being a babyface. He's even said in interviews before that he just can't work as a babyface. He thinks that it sucks. He just does not enjoy the art of being a babyface, and I just don't think he could do it. But other people were saying, for some reason he's just massively over. He gets great pops, and he's got the great finisher, he's got the great look. I'll give him credit though; he's kind of developed more of a badass edge since 2004. But I think the main reason why he's still over is because of the theme music. You compare to what his theme music was when they turned him face in 2004. He had that, hey, nothing you can say. He had that fucking bullshit song. Even Orton said it in the interview. They felt like the odds were kind of stacked against him once they gave him that song. He was actually supposed to get CM Punk's theme a while back, and he was pissed off about that. I remember hearing about that. But yeah, the theme music that he has now is, obviously it was awesome when it first came out. I'm kind of sick of it now, but it's a great theme though. It's a kind of great theme. It's kind of like the Stone Cold Steve Austin theme of today's era. That I hear voices in my head. It's just a great theme. You can't deny it, and I think that's probably a big reason why. But overall, Orton is a babyface. It just doesn't work, and I feel like they need to turn him heel eventually. Well, let me say this: it's kind of working because, and I think the only reason it's working, you could say the theme music, and the other thing is PG. A lot of the fans are a little bit younger now. They're not as smart as they were back in 04 and 05, where you kind of had, a mixture of ROH fans and, old school ECW fans coming to the shows as well. So it was a little bit tougher for Orton to get over back in the day. So I think that's why he's had such an easy time. But let me tell you something. If the fans were a little bit more intelligent nowadays that are coming to the WWE shows, and they were a little bit more older, Orton would have a lot more of a tougher time. I would say that. But yeah, just want to follow up on my last video about Triple H. I assume a lot of people were kind of disagreeing with me about Triple H coming back and winning the championship and being a heel. But I really think it needs to happen, though. I'm not saying, I don't know when it's going to happen. I'm saying maybe after WrestleMania, this could be a possibility. Whether he does it on Raw or SmackDown, I'm not sure. But, the one thing you got to give Triple H credit for, I said it time and time again, he brings credibility to the championships, which is, I think that's what they need right now. And, you got to do it soon because Triple H is getting older. I feel like he could feud with a lot of the guys. A lot of these guys will just make for very, very intriguing feuds with Triple H. They could get a great rub out of him. Guys like John Morrison, guys like Danny Bryan, CM Punk, even Matt Sydal to a degree. I mean, there's so many guys, Christian on the roster that could really, really benefit from being in a feud with Triple H. And I feel like he's at his best when he's a heel. Triple H as a babyface is friggin' awful. Even back in 2002, that was like, you go back and watch that stuff. You kind of say to yourself, how the fuck did I sit through that? All right, so let me just talk about Kane for a second. I respect Kane. I'm very, very happy for him. But, seriously, this title reign is going on too long. I haven't seen any of his pay-per-view matches, but I've seen Kane wrestle so many times. I don't even have to, I could tell you exactly how these matches are going. But I imagine the feuds have been pretty good. The Undertaker-Kane feud was actually pretty decent. But the matches suck. That's what I'm hearing. But he can't be the champion heading into WrestleMania. I mean, these pay-per-view cards just look very, very unattractive. And when you have Kane going against Edge, just doesn't look very, very intriguing. I remember Kane and Edge. I thought their feud in 2004 sucked. Even Edge will tell you that he had a tough time carrying Kane to a great match. So, yeah. Definitely need to, obviously on SmackDown, they're kind of depleted right now. I really feel like when Christian comes back, he's definitely the guy that they need to start pushing. I really feel like that. Alberto Del Rio, I need to see more of that guy, like I said before. But, CM Punk on commentary, let me just touch on this really quickly. Punk is a genius on commentary. He kind of felt a little bit, I felt like he was a little bit nervous last night, especially in the main event. But I thought he did a great job, though. But let me tell you something. This guy is great on commentary. I think it's great that they're actually utilizing him while he's injured. Hopefully he can get back and get healthy soon. If he was healthy right now, he should definitely be the champion. That's fucked up to me. Let me just touch on this. Like I said before, I thought Sheamus was a big reason why the WWE sucks right now. I felt like the belt lost a lot of credibility back in the day. I'm sorry, last year when he won the belt. But I feel like another thing that really rubbed me the wrong way was when Undertaker beat Punk for the title in the Hell in the Cell. I thought that was really, really baffled me. I've heard rumors that Punk violated the dress code and Taker got pissed off at him, or someone got pissed off at him, so that's why they had him drop the belt. That's a bunch of bullshit right there, if that's true. But yeah, that was another reason why. And Jack Swagger too. The money. Let me talk about the Money in the Bank thing. The Money in the Bank thing has definitely run its course. I feel like it definitely hurts a guy's credibility if they win the belt just by coming down to the ring, power bombing him while the guy's groggy and then winning the belt. I feel like, what they did with the Miz last night was beautiful because it's kind of like he did it himself. He really felt like he really defeated Orton. If Orton was that great of a champion, I'm just talking about kayfabe wise. Like if he was that great, that he wouldn't have got beat that soon. So I really felt like it made the Miz look strong to a degree that he was able to cleanly beat Orton. Well, not necessarily cleanly, but the fact is he got it done. He didn't have to use a briefcase. He didn't have to use a chair shot. He really, Orton was still healthy when he beat him. So I felt like that was good. But yeah, the Money in the Bank thing, the overall match is cool, but I feel like you can't do it every single year, though. I feel like you can't have the Money in the Bank winner win the championship every single year. I feel like if you really want to create a huge star, you got to have him build up a great match, have him beat him one-on-one, just like Orton did it with Benoit back in 2004. That's how you do it, and I feel like they need to go back to that. And I think the Money in the Bank stipulations definitely hurt the WWE to a degree. I would just say that. All right, so let me talk about ROH on HDNet. I want to run it down. I've been doing this every week, so I feel like I should continue to do it. Hopefully TrueSlayer does it as well. But you know, I didn't really see the whole episode this week. I catched pretty much the last 40 minutes of it. You had Eric Stevens, Colt Cabana. Didn't see much of it. Um, you know, they built up the Kings of Wrestling and the Briscoes for Final Battle, which came off very, very well with Papa Briscoe. Looks like they're sticking to that six-man tag match. You know, I think that would be awesome if, like, somehow the belts were on the line at Final Battle and they actually just have Briscoes, Kings of Wrestling have their final match. I think that will happen. That will probably be like an impromptu match. So we'll look forward to that. You had Sarah DeRay versus Daisy Hayes. This went to a 10-minute time limit draw. It was a very, very good match, but it featured a very, very dead crowd. Sarah and Daisy are two great women's wrestlers, but you know, this could have been a lot better. Daisy Hayes is extremely skinny. That's all I'm going to say about that. But yeah, I don't even know. But yeah. All right, Davey Richards versus Daivari. This is the main event. This was good. You know, this was yeah, this was cool because it kind of it was a good test for Davey Richards as a babyface. You know, it was a good test to see if he could really draw on his own without being in there with the spectacular wrestler. And it came off very, very well. You know, the crowd was into it. For an HCNet match, I would say that, you know, the odds were stacked against Davey. You had Ernesto Osiris from the Embassy giving Davey cheap shots behind the referee's back. There was some really good wrestling in this match, too. A lot of nice reversals from Davey into the ankle lock, and then he did like a nice counter into a Texas Cloverleaf, which came out pretty nicely. I mean, it wasn't like, don't expect an amazing Davey Richards match. This is probably one of his weakest matches of the year, as far as one of his worst singles matches. It might be the worst, but it was still like 3¼ stars, though. So, also on HDNet, I want to touch on this. They had the Prodigy, Mike Bennett. They talked about Carrie Silkin and Jim Cornette. Talked about how high they are on this guy. And Jim Cornette gave some really, really interesting facts. He said he knows the guy personally that trained Mike Bennett, the Prodigy, from the Boston area. He said he was a very, very he was kind of negative on the person, but he said that, you know, he was a great trainer because he's so bitter because he never made it into the business, so he kind of took all his aggression out on his students, and, you know, he thinks that's why Mike Bennett is such a great wrestler right now, because when you combine the natural talent with, you know, the guy that he was trained with, it kind of makes for a deadly combination. So, yeah, that came off really, really good. I'm excited to see the Prodigy. I know he was on the Fade to Black show, but I haven't seen that show yet, so I'm very, very interested to see how this guy does. Really quickly, before I let you guys go, Final Battle. It looks like it's set in stone now. Davey Richards versus Roderick Strong for the championship. I'm very, very, very excited about this. I think this is going to be their best match ever to date so far. The matches have been awesome, but this is even going to surpass expectations. It's scary to think how great this match will be. I'm very, very excited for it. Kevin Steen versus El Generico is going to be epic. Christopher Daniels is going to be there. Kenny Omega is going to be there as well. Maybe you have Omega versus... Oh, yeah, I think you need to go Omega versus Edwards, but yeah. We'll talk about Final Battle at a later date, but yeah, a lot of great stuff to talk about, and the WWE is going to get great. Oh shit, I forgot to talk about this. Yeah, really quick, I don't know how much time I have, but yeah, WWE has so many Ring of Honor legends right now. I mean, think about this. You got Loki, you got Bryan Danielson, you got CM Punk, you got Tyler Black, and you got Matt Sydal. I put Matt Sydal in the top 25 ROH workers of all time. So yeah, you got 5 guys right there that are ROH legends. And then on top of that, I feel like Nigel McGuinness is going to jump ship within the next couple of years. And then I really feel like WWE needs to go after Chris Hero and Claudio Castagnoli really, really hard after the summer of 2011. I feel like you need to pick those 2 guys. I think they'll be great for the WWE. And who knows, maybe David Richards and Roderick Strong will come aboard as well. You know, I'm not saying I want WWE to raid Ring of Honor of all their talent, but I'm saying, you know, the WWE can use these guys. And I think if you get some of these guys in, you know, the WWE could be better than it ever was in a couple of years. You know, Ring of Honor definitely has the talent. So we'll see. ROH Legends in the WWE is a beautiful thing. So, all right, guys, thanks for watching.